Mr. and Mrs. Cole region, from Scranton to Pine Grove, the Glenburn Mountain to the Pioneer Tunnel, and all you good news in between. I'm actually right near the Pioneer Tunnel. I'm in Ashland, Pennsylvania here, at the cemetery. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's the one by Pioneer Tunnel, the back road there, and I'm standing here in front of the Bottlinger family. It's a family plot here, and you might notice that these aren't exactly your typical tombstones. When you first look at them, they're bent and stuff, but the first thing you notice, they're made of metal, and I'm pretty sure they're cast iron. I believe that's what they're made out of. They were actually manufactured in Philadelphia, and this is something I bet you probably haven't seen at many, if any, cemeteries themselves. So these metal, what is this all about here? How come they're so different? Okay, so I'd be willing to bet that these people here, let's see, are in the ground. Oh, let's see, I don't know if there's no dates here, but okay, there's no dates, but during the Victorian era, the late 1800s, early 1900s, the Victorian people had a morbid curiosity with death, and that's the era where they took the death photos, the family death photos, where if a family member died, they'd prop them up and make it look as natural as possible, and they also made jewelry out of hair. They're just weird, those Victorian era people. Well, something that is not something you would think of that could happen today, but people were terrified of having happen to them during that era, was being buried alive. And I can't even imagine, I don't think anybody can, what it would be like to wake up in your own casket, buried 6 feet below the ground. So, to combat that, some wise person invented a thing called safety coffin. And what a safety coffin is a specially made coffin where when what would happen is when they put your body into the ground, they would tie a piece of string to the dead person's finger, the person's finger, and then that string would come up to a pipe out of the coffin, and it would run up a pipe up the ground, and it would attach to these little bell. There'd be a bell right here, one of these hooks, and it would attach to the bell. And depending on what the policy was, some people it was 48, some place it was 72 hours. But for the following couple days, they would have a watchman on duty 24/7. They'd be hired to sit here and on guard duty to listen for that bell to ring. Because if it did, they would have just enough time to run over to the undertakers, or run over to the cemetery's caretaker, and get them over here. They'd have just enough oxygen to survive being dug up. Okay, so I know being buried alive is terrifying, but equally as terrifying, I think, would be sitting here, dozing off and hearing that ding 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 bell go off. That would be really freaky. So yeah, these are the tombstones that are the other end of the safety coffin. These are safety coffin tombstones. Yeah, they all have their hooks on and stuff, and it's a shame they're in such bad condition. But what are you gonna do? These people are long dead, and I'm sure they don't have anything. But I just thought it was interesting that there's the whole family. It was probably the father or the mom and the dad that purchased them first back in the day, and purchased a family plot, and then they just, because let's see, the names that are here are Conrad Bottlinger, father, Henry Geitling, husband, Elizabeth Bottlinger, mother, and Anna Geitling Kesslinger, and it says wife. I don't know in what order that goes. I would imagine that her and him, let's see, her and him are married, and her and him are married. And I would imagine that these two are the parents of that. No, these two would be the parents of him. Yes, and she was probably married in. So yeah, I just figured I'd share this with you. I've been wanting, since I just came across these by accident, actually. I love walking through cemeteries. And one day when I was here, the first time I was ever here, I was walking down, and as soon as I seen them, I knew what they were. I instantly knew what they were. Now, I brought some people here and showed them and asked them if they knew what they were, and I don't know anybody that has gotten it right so far. There aren't too many people that have heard of safety coffins, though, either. So it always freaks people out to see these. I mean, I've been to hundreds of cemeteries, big ones, small ones, city ones, private ones. I've never seen safety coffin stone or markers before. So I thought it was awesome. I think you would think it was awesome. It's just another little secret here. Another little secret tucked away here in the heart of the Pennsylvania's anthracite coal region that most people don't know is even here. So I just figured I'd share it. Now listen, if you are morbidly curious as to seeing them in person or the other fine graves that are here, or any cemetery, I implore you, be respectful, okay? Treat it like you treat your own home. And if you treat your own home like shit, don't come to a cemetery. Be respectful, okay? Don't litter, okay? Don't vandalize. Just be respectful. That's all I ask, please. Not only is it the right thing to do, but being respectful is about being true to yourself. So that's what hardcore is about. All right, guys, I have to head over to Pottsville to pick up my dad a laptop. We are going to be also stopping. We're going to be stopping in Cass Township, a cemetery behind the King's Plaza in Minersville, and maybe we'll do a little metal detecting, find someplace too. So, from the cemetery here in Ashland, from Ashland, Pennsylvania, this has been your hardcore historian, Joey McGinley Jr., signing off.
When I wake up in the morning and the alarm gets out of warning, I don't think I'll ever make it on time. By the time I grab my books and I give myself a look, I'm at the corner just in time to see the bus fly by. It's alright, cause I'm saved by the bell. If the teacher pops a test, I know I'm in a mess, and my dog ate all my homework last night. Riding low and